As I'm recording this video, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. And since authentic, unapologetic self-love is one of my most favorite superpowers, I've decided to get intentional with it and share a phased out approach to self-love. In phase 1, we will focus on how to increase your self-awareness, get real about your blind spots, and rewire your capacity for real self-love. So what does it mean to love yourself? I mean, really, really love yourself. Our society talks a lot about self-love, but we usually stop short at shallow understandings of the phrase, making it about small acts of self-care, like a bubble bath, a mani-pedi, or a nap, maybe. That's what I call little treat culture. And if you're like most of the women I know, you already spend most of your time pouring love, attention, and energy into others. This month, I want to really encourage you to pour into your own cup and tap into the power of true, authentic self-love, maybe for the first time ever. So this video is the first of our self-love series. Each week for the next 5 weeks, I'm going to be sharing a video taking you one step deeper into your self-love journey. By the end of this series, my hope for you is that you'll shift into a mindset of radical, unapologetic self-love. Self-love is how you shatter your limiting beliefs, step into total sovereignty, and expand into the state of higher consciousness that will ultimately allow you to create wild success and deep satisfaction. That's why I am so connected to the power of self-love. So if you're new here, welcome to Confessions of an Awakened Boss Lady. I'm your host, Reverend Patricia Ferreira. You can call me Patty. I'm an intuitive success catalyst and coach for women who want it all in their life. If you're a soulful, ambitious woman and you're done sacrificing and settling for less, you're in the right place. Now, when we think about opening ourselves to genuine, unapologetic self-love, we have to start with evaluating our self-awareness. What are we missing? Where are the gaps and blocks keeping us from the highest level of self-love? Even in a romantic relationship, deep, abiding love comes from intimacy. Into me, see. Clarity and real knowledge of someone's soul and character. This is true for how we love ourselves and increase our self-love as well. So self-awareness is the code of self-love rooted in contemplation and introspection. Here you embrace the ability to pause and look at your life so you can define the quality and alignment of your beliefs. You identify the patterns that have been running your life and acknowledge the decisions and behaviors that have resulted from these patterns. Taking a thorough, sometimes brutally honest look at your life as it has been, you start to understand all that you really are and exactly what you need to do in order to make the changes you desire to see in your life. Now, this doesn't go without admitting that awakening to genuine self-awareness can be varying levels of uncomfortable. If you've done a lot of self-work, personal development work, or attended therapy in the past, you might already have a jump start on this. The process might be relatively painless. For others, you might just be beginning to open your eyes to the fact that you're living a misaligned life. Maybe you've found yourself here because you're in the midst of a divorce, or a major shift in your career, or the loss of a loved one. This was my path to self-awareness and my spiritual awakening. It took the death of my mother and the end of my first marriage to shake me awake. But the important thing is, I did wake up. It was painful and it needed to happen. In that sacred pause, I had no option but to look inward and confront the truth that I was the architect of my own suffering. This is not to simplify what happened to me, but my experience of my circumstances were a clear reflection of my inner state, a mirror that relentlessly showed me the consequences of my thoughts, my choices, and my actions. It was humbling, but in the depths of my soul searching, I discovered a wellspring of strength and resilience. And with unwavering determination, I made a solemn vow, a promise to break free from the beliefs and patterns that had continually derailed me. And there I began, a little bit at a time. That's exactly what I did, and you can too. You see, your road to awakening and awareness doesn't have to be so rocky. It's possible to experience this same growth without the pain and suffering that most stubborn folks have gone through. It starts with making a conscious effort to look inside yourself, which is exactly what you're doing by tuning in today. So take a deep breath. You've got this. Now, before we go any further, I want to encourage you to register for our free self-love activation program. This is a 10-day course that accompanies this self-love series. Inside, you'll get daily messages delivered to your inbox with additional stories, exercises, and reflections that will help you go even deeper with this work. You can grab it right now. I'm going to put the link below, and it's no cost along with these videos. So once you've developed an awareness around the fact that you need to do some soul searching, now what? Now it's time to start collecting data, gaining some pattern recognition. I want you to take an analytical look at your present beliefs, behaviors, conditioning, and experiences. It can be challenging, I'm not gonna lie, but it's important to stay as neutral, centered, and non-judgmental as possible. Look at your beliefs and your life experiences as if you were hearing about it from a beloved friend, niece, or sister. Exercise compassion as you recognize the truth of where you are without belittling, shaming, or beating yourself up over this. A good starting point for this work is to start intentionally looking for your own blind spots. Blind spots are aspects of your personality or behaviors that you engage in regularly that may be holding you back, and you're doing it unconsciously. Most people choose to go through their life willfully remaining ignorant of their blind spots. By tackling yours head on, you can open your own eyes and start to practice a more conscious way of living, which is one of the ultimate forms of self-love. Everyone's blind spots will vary based on your life experiences and personality. Here are some common ones that come frequently in this work. So one is unintentional biases or prejudices towards a particular group of people or belief system, or poor communication skills, including active listening or interrupting or ambiguous language, ignoring or avoiding constructive feedback, overestimating your own abilities and intelligence, difficulty accepting mistakes and errors, lack of self-awareness regarding how one's behavior is perceived by others, or maybe it's struggling with time management and prioritization. Maybe it's tendency to procrastinate or avoid making difficult decisions, or being overly critical or judgmental of oneself or others. Now, these are not comfortable realities to admit to. Your first impulse might be to say, oh great, I don't have any of those things she mentioned. In that case, congratulations, you've just found your first blind spot. It's defensiveness. The truth is, we all carry at least one or two of these blind spots. They're human nature, but that doesn't mean you have to let them steer the ship and drive your life forever. Take some time this week to intentionally notice when you feel a little bit triggered, frustrated, judgmental, or irritated. Ask yourself, what's bothering me? What belief is simmering below the surface? These emotions are the flashing arrows you can follow to the direction of self-awareness. Now, that is all I have for the first code of self-awareness. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to register for the free self-awareness activation. I'll pop the link and I'll come to your inbox once a week and share a radical shift, an exercise, or a way in which you can tap into authentic self-love. If you want to go deeper into this work, grab a copy of my book, Awaken Your Codes of Self-Love. The book is a deep dive into self-love and highlights a precise path to greater success with satisfaction. Through simply loving yourself well enough to change your behaviors, change your beliefs, and change your reality again, you're going to step into the highest trajectory. So don't forget to tune in next week where we'll dive into the second code of self-love. And feel free to share this with your friends if you know someone who might find value in this conversation. So until next time, lots of love, deep bow, and we'll see you again next week.